It's Friday evening coming up to 4 o'clock when the top-seeded crew of Cathal Curley and Austin Fraser head for the start ramp in Ayr Square in their Porsche. They are to lead away 88 starters on the first of 3 days hard driving in Galway and Clare. Curley, winner of 3 internationals last year, was the pre-rally favourite, but he had reservations about how to deal with the British rally champion from Millstreet, County Cork at number 2, Billy Coleman.
Billy has been going rather well lately. He's got the breaks at rallying that I firmly believe he deserves. He's got a works drive with Fords, and due to a secret preparation that's going on in our camp, we overlooked, unfortunately, to fit a new clutch plate on the car here, and we had some bother en route coming to Galway with the clutch, and we're not too optimistic as to whether the clutch will stand up to 3 days hammering around the Galway roads or not.
Curley slid off the ramp on the dot of 4 and headed through the evening traffic towards the first speed section at Annadown, 10 miles away. Next in line was Billy Coleman, co-piloted by international John Davenport.
John, a prediction?
Not at the moment. The weather looks fine. I hope it stays that way. Somebody was talking there might be some ice before we got back to the hotel tonight. Well, I don't know what time they were planning to get back. We were planning on 11 o'clock.
There goes Billy Coleman.
Chris Slater, a former British champion in the Datsun Violet, was the first of the 16 visiting drivers. Jack Tordoff, the Circuit of Ireland winner in '73, was the second Porsche Carrera to head off. Desi McCartney from Larne, another Porsche challenger. Was it to be his rally? Mayor Fintan Coogan flagged away the cars at 30-second intervals. Noel Smith of Dublin, another of the 9 Porsches in contention. And so on they went into the Galway countryside. The first evening's work entailed 10 special sections in the Headford area, over 90 miles of high-speed motoring against the clock. The vantage points were quite full, in wait for the top men led by Cathal Curley. Curley beat Coleman on that first test, but he collected a puncture on the second at Rafui. An opportunity for Billy Coleman to make up the deficit. Brian Evans in Porsche number 16 was in the lead, however. After further stages in darkness around Headford and Shrule, it was Coleman, Evans, Slater and Curley who looked to be the top men. But Billy Coleman was mostly concerned with Cathal Curley.
He had a puncture in one stage and that gave us a half a minute advantage, but he seems to have made it up, or nearly made it up since then, you know.
Are you driving in 10/10s?
Well, that's 8 or 9 anyway. We hope to put on a bit more pressure though as the night goes on.
Okay.
We had to stop at the first stage, we couldn't race down, we get a push, so they held us up for about 2 minutes.
It's been very good so far. We've had our problems. We had to do 7.5 miles with a flat front tire. But apart from that, it's been a grand event so far.
Well, it hasn't been without its moments so far. We punctured a mile into the last stage and finished it on the rim. 7.5 miles on the rim. You know, had hairy moments. And we thumped it on the previous stage. Not seriously. So we've been having our moments, but we're enjoying it.
Unfortunately, we made a wrong decision with 2 bigger tyres. We left it to Dunlop to decide, and if they said on 2 bigger tyres, and the car's handling horrible. And I've had a puncture at one stage. Apart from that, it's okay.
Just had a bit of a nudge on the first stage. Not too serious though, but I think the cylinder head gasket is starting to go, so I don't know how long more we'll be running.
It's going very smoothly. The car's going fantastically. I can't think of a time when I've been in a Ford that's gone so well. The stages have been pretty dry, but there's been a lot of gravel on them, and I think that's caught a lot of people out, especially those who, like us, are committed to using racing tyres. There was one test which started off with about 2.5 miles of gravel. A lot of people had punctures, but we took it very easy. We lost a bit of time, but, you know, we're still here, still fighting.
Very hard to say. We're still in the very early stages of it. My prediction, Billy, seems to be going very well. We had a wee bit of bad luck. We've just had our first flat wheeling rally in for some 3 years, and we had it on the second special stage, and we lost a considerable amount of time due to this. But we're back and we're going again, and we're quite happy. The car's going well, and everything's in order so far. But as I said before, it's very early stages yet, and we don't particularly thrive in the nighttime sections of rallying because of my eyesight, believe it or not. But tomorrow in daylight, we'll see what we can do with your associate and friend, Billy.
I think we're in the lead by about half a minute. The organisers have got the times added up a bit wrong at the moment, but I'm sure when they get them sorted out, they'll find we're in the lead.
The back of the seat is broken, and I'm trying to lift it up a bit so I can reach the top of the steering wheel a bit better.
Well, did this actually happen tonight?
Yeah, it's happened on a bump a few stages back. You know, when the car lands, you get so much weight that just the frame collapsed a little bit, you know.
Those first 10 stages set a pattern for the second day. Billy Coleman led Cathal Curley by a minute. Desi McCartney got up to 3rd and Chris Slater 4th. Adrian Boyd, Ger Buckley and Mick Dolan were just 3 of the many dropouts. English visitor Brian Evans dropped down the field after a series of car problems, but the pace up front was furious when we picked them up on the 21-mile corkscrew test in County Clare. By the halfway point on Saturday's run, Billy Coleman had a commanding 77-second lead on a fighting Cathal Curley. Chris Slater ended his challenge here, and Corkman Demi Fitzgerald was another to fall by the wayside. He simply ran out of petrol on one of the stages. As they powered their way through the Ballybuck section near Kenvarra for the second time, it looked as if Curley and his immaculate Porsche were missing. Billy Coleman in the Shell Sport Escort was now leading a procession of Porsches, almost 7 minutes ahead of Desi McCartney, with Agnew and Tordoff 2 minutes further back.
Billy, something has happened to Cathal Kearney.
Yes, he's turned the car over on the second last test. So it's one problem less we've got now. The very slippery part of the road, and we came along. The car was on its roof, absolutely blocking the road, and we had to stop and push it out of the way. So
5, 4, 3.
What happened, Chris, later, Jack?
Rolled it on about 2 stages back, 3 stages back. Front of us, right?
20 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Desi, you're in second place now. How are you going to drive it from here on in?
much the same way. We'll drive this
10 seconds.
quickly as we seem. It seems quick enough at the time. It's hard to go too quick.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, Ronnie, what have you done to the car?
Well, we've got narrow tires on. They're suiting the terrain very much better. You know, they're very much better on the mucky roads. She's doing much better.
3,
Really pleased now.
1, okay, go! 3, 2, 1, go!
It was all go from here to the finish in Galway, again in darkness. But there is no such thing as certainty in this sport, as Billy Coleman and his co-driver can now explain.
Just at the start of the last special section in the Saturday run, the car just refused to move it. You know, when it out the clutch, there was a slight crackle, and that was the end of the rally.
It was a broken half shaft. It's one of those little slips twixt cup and lip which occasionally happen. And, you know, there's nothing you can do about it. You know, you just undo the seatbelt, take the crash helmet off and get out.
I think the experience of this weekend, even though it wasn't a very successful event result-wise, I think it's been good experience and be a good opener for the season. And I'm really looking forward to having another go at Roger Clark when I go over there.
Maybe that's the sort of thinking that gets a good driver a works contract. Cathal Kearney had also to lick his wounds. His beautiful Porsche Carrera was bent. His STP rally chances lost.
Well, Michael, something rather unexpectedly, if I could put it that way, actually happened. We finished up on the roof on special stage 19. I suppose, to be quite frank about it, if we weren't prepared to accept these things, we wouldn't be at the game. It's not so much that finishing up with a rally car on the roof is part of the game, but it's one of these chances that you must take, and we have accepted what has happened to us in a very light-hearted way.
But there was nothing light-hearted about the Sunday test in the Dunmore district of North Galway. In the standard saloon class, Ronnie McCartney in Mazda number 19 was fighting it out with 34, Ray Murphy, in a Vauxhall. But the leading McCartney brother was taking things a little easier.
Well, today we just sort of drove fairly steady all the way and keep in touch with the other boys. If we're almost as quick as them, that's what we're looking for.
David, are you surprised to be in second place?
I'm very surprised. I'm more by other people's misfortune than my good fortune, really. But the thing's not over yet, unfortunately. There's quite another 2 stages to go. You never know what might happen.
You were almost certain of second place today, but you had a problem.
That's right, we went off on the 4th stage for 12 minutes into a bog. It took a long time to get the car back on the road, and so we've sacrificed our chance of second place. We're lying about 5th at the moment, and we'll be happy to maintain that for the rest of the rally.
Just keep 3rd place. It was only 2 stages to go now. We're in 3rd place, and we can't be passed by 4th place, and we can't pass David Agnew. So we're going to keep as we are now.
There's a story about that, in fact, Ronnie McCartney ran short of tyres and a certain Ray Murphy came up trumps.
Yeah, that was when the competition wasn't so close. But unfortunately, he has the tyres now, and that's it. But we help each other out anyhow in cases like this. He's helped me, I help him.
We had no brakes for 2/3 of the rally. So we're trying to climb back today, but we simply haven't got enough time left.
What is it like for a woman to be in with a whole lot of men in what could be classified as a pretty tough sport?
Well, it's never struck me that way, really. You know, it's never struck me as being the only woman among a whole pile of men.
So Desi McCartney and Terry Harriman in the Porsche Carrera cruised to a 2.5-minute win in the STP Galway International Rally. Big brother Ronnie in his Mazda pipped Ray Murphy's Vauxhall with the most spirited drive.
Carl, what goes through a driver's mind on a high-speed special section like this?
Well, I suppose, Michael, a lot of concentration. It's a matter of weighing up each corner on the approach to each corner. It's a matter of weighing up each brow on the approach to each brow and losing as little time as is humanly possible, you know. It's your judgment, actually, you know, and you're working very hard at it.
You see the next car is coming.
Yes.
Michael O'Connell of Cork.
Yes.
Doing pretty well, isn't he?
Trying very hard indeed, yes. He was very impressive through that S down there. Just after he would pass through the S, which is down here on our right, the next thing he would be concentrating on would be what we have up the road here, which is a rather blind right-hand bend, which is very hard to assess even from here, and after all, we are standing here.
Victory to Porsche, they filled the top 5 places. 21-year-old Phil McCartan from Donaghcloney was the best Ford in 6th. And the husband and wife escort crew of Michael and Anne O'Connell from Cork were the top finishers from the Republic.
It's very different to our rallies, but it's the best of its type, I would say. I mean, to come over and do 400 miles of stages in a total distance of 700 and win £1,000 at the end if you're lucky, that's real rallying.